Yeah, obviously, we're not kicking the ball the way we want right now, so we wanted to bring in some competition and just explore all options. I know that Joey can do it. I'm expecting him at some point here. I'm hoping for him that he just kind of gets over this little lull that he's in right now and kicks the way that I know he's capable of. At the same time, we're gonna bring guys in and see see what's the best thing for the team.
Matt, you threw them both. Joey's been through the fire, but you threw them both out there today in somewhat pressure situation. How did you think each responded?
Well, the field goal block period wasn't what we wanted, but then just the different situations of having to come off the sideline kick, which is a little more game-like, realistic. Both guys did a good job there. So, we'll go back and evaluate the tape for today and see what tomorrow brings. But we purposely did that just two different times today, just to kind of make it as realistic as possible.
Did anyone in your staff have background with Dominic, or just kind of the best guy out there?
Best guy was out there.
Do you have a sense of how much you want to play each of them on Friday? Kind of even, or?
Not prepared for that to say that yet. We're like I said, we're keeping all options open, to be quite honest.
Are you more prepared to kind of figure out where the rest of your team is as far as who's going to play what or how long?
Yeah, the ones will play till half, maybe just before or just after, depending on how the game flows. Some individual, the 2s and 3s will play the second half. Some guys will maybe not play, but not very many. Probably won't play Christian. More because he just has an accumulation of a lot of hits throughout the course of the year. So trying to save the hits on him. But everyone else we expect probably to play some.
The Steelers aren't going to play starters. Does that change the way you think about it at all?
No, not for me. I mean, they've played 4 preseason games, so they're in a different deal. I'm really only worried about us and our execution and how we move and how we get in and out of the huddle and how we break and how we communicate and all those things. Those are the real reasons. We've worked hard. Those are the real reasons why we play the game.
So that doesn't change when you're facing a different level of competition, the kind of stuff you're looking for?
Yeah, no, like I said, I'm just completely worried about us. Like versus the Ravens, versus the Colts, and now versus the Steelers. It's all been about us and the things that we do.
Now you had a couple of extra guys out there today, Greg and Luke. What was it like to have them out there? How do you think the players responded?
I saw them in the building. Obviously Luke was with us all last year, so I know guys know him well. But it was great to have Greg here as well, and having Greg talk to the team at the end had a good message for the guys. But I just think they're still here in town. They're supportive of the guys, and they've always been good to me. I really enjoy both guys as men and as people. As not just as players but as people. So it's great to have them back. It's great always to have former Panthers back.
What was Greg's message in a nutshell?
To be a team, to stick together, and to enjoy what you have while you have it, and also, as Greg said, he talked about how great a place it is to play here in the Carolinas and to be here.
Before practice, you've had coaches do either push-up competitions. Can you talk about your philosophy behind that? Is it to kind of loosen up practice before you get going, or just talk about that whole?
It just kind of started the other day as like a joke, because a couple guys were saying I'm faster than you and I'm faster than you. It really happened because Big Frank, our D-line coach, and Terrence Knighton kept running to the ball in practice to try to get the guys to run to the ball, and there was a lot of debate on the staff of who's faster. So I said, well, I called him out in the practice, said, let's settle it. And I warned everyone. I said, you better warm up. You better bring a pair of cleats, because I'm going to start calling guys out. So, Snow and Brady did push-up competition. Different guys race. So it's just, to me, it's, we want to be a competitive team. Let's have everyone compete. You notice I don't ever call myself out there, so I'm exempt. So.
You were afraid you were going to make Phil run.
No, Phil said, what? He was not happy that I called him out. You know what? Out of respect for both guys, but I will say the elder statesman won. So. Yes, like I said, that's why I got the whistle.
Matt, we saw Josh go off yesterday. Fines. How's he doing?
Yeah, I think it's just a short-term thing. Just a kind of, to be honest, just a little bit of a scare, but should be fine.
And your backup running backs, I know, missing valuable time
Yeah.
here, and injuries are injuries, like you like to say.
Yeah.
But what does it mean for your other running backs?
That's given Chuba a great opportunity, and I think Chuba, he's still developing, but he's making the most of his opportunities, and Spencer's doing a really nice job. So
Spencer have a chance?
Yeah, he definitely has a chance. Yeah, I think a lot of it's going to come down to guys this next week playing well on special teams. I mean, like Gio Ritchie's a guy that's fighting for a spot on this roster, and all he does is make tackles on special teams, and so that maximizes your value. So, Darius Clark has done a nice job when he's in there. So being out there is important, and those guys have done a good job while they're out there.
Assuming you're not expecting to have Reggie or Rodney for Friday.
Yeah, we won't have them.
Are you getting a better sense of kind of who that, you talked about your best 5 linemen or your best 8 you're going to carry, or 7 or 8. You have a better sense of where that is as far as the process?
Yeah, I mean, the same 5 we've been playing. Dennis has been a starter at times. John Miller, Johnny's so tough. I mean, most guys would be sitting out. He's out there practicing. So I think we have, 6 starters, and the 2 young guys are coming along, and all the other young guys are doing a nice job. So I think this week will be a good week for us to see a bunch of guys play.
How much will you ramp up both Deontay and Brady as far as this week goes, as far as giving them more of a look?
They'll play with the 2s and 3. They'll play in that second half with the 2s and 3s, and they've had a lot of chances to play. We've seen a lot of good things. I haven't talked to those guys, so I'm not prepared to say that yet. But the hope is that both will play. But those guys know probably tomorrow. Hey, here's who's going in first, and make some evaluations after that.
What do you need to see from Joey to know? Like, is it he needs to make all of his kicks Friday? Like, what are you looking for from him?
I don't know that I can even answer that. I just take everything as it comes, right? Evaluate each player based upon what I see, and Joey's made 50 kicks in the National Football League. I mean, he can make kicks, and just to me right now, it's a matter of sometimes in life you kind of go through a valley, and you gotta fight, scratch, and claw your way out of it, and I'm sure he will. I really do. I believe in Joey Sly, and I'm sure he will. At the same time, we have to just continue to bring in competition so that we put the best what we think could be the best opportunity to win out there. So.
Coach, is there something to building momentum, having the starters come out and look sharp on Friday as you do it again?
Yeah, I probably don't necessarily believe in momentum per se, but I would expect, there's a standard here, and I expect them to go out and look sharp. As I said to our guys, we want to play really well without giving away, we've put a bunch of new stuff in, and I really don't want to give all that away. So we'll go out there, defensively, we're not going to show a ton of blitz packages and things. We want to maintain any advantage we have for the first game. But we better go out there and be fundamentally sound and run to the ball and tackle well, and on offense not have a bunch of penalties, and go out there and function and execute and throw the ball around. And so I'm expecting that. I'm expecting those things.
Hey, we'll do a couple more.
I don't know if you watched the tape specifically on him yesterday, but Ricci at fullback, how do you think he looked?
I think he's doing a good job. I think it'll really come down to seeing him in a game. So I think he'll get a lot of opportunities to play. I think putting him in 40 was good for everyone's psyche to see, hey, this guy can do it. And like I said, he's a valuable special teams player right now. He's making big plays on special teams. So there's a place for him on this roster if he continues to do that. So this will be a big game for him this week.
So how did Joey, what went into the decision to not bring in competition from him sooner?
Well, we brought in guys in rookie mini camp. We brought in guys, but he was really excellent all spring. So we just kind of said, hey, going into the season, let's brought in an extra punter instead. We have 2 long snappers, so just didn't feel like we'd have 6 specialists. And now that we're in the situation we're in right now, we're just kind of reacting to it now. And like I said, hoping that someone will emerge.
How would you describe it right now? Open competition, or what would you say right now about it?
Yeah, I'd say for me, everything's an open competition except for probably the starting tailback and starting quarterback right now. Starting left tackle, center. All those positions that aren't settled. It's all open. Everything's open. So, that being said, what you've done in the past does give you some a feeling of, hey, this guy can do it. But as we get ready for the Jets, we have to have everyone clicking on all cylinders. So we'll see. Friday night will be a great indicator of where we are in terms of what we're doing well, what we're not doing well, and we'll leave that game understanding, hey, we have 2 weeks to fix X, Y, or Z, whatever position.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.
On purpose, wear different shoes, or is that the style?
Okay.
Is it a style?
No, it's not. So I started off with 2 white cleats, but I've been working they got me with this little this new insole, and it was hurting my other foot. So I took Marquise's cleat and just didn't give it back because this feels good.
And you're gonna keep Marquise.
Maybe. You don't know. Looks good, doesn't it? Yeah, it teaches on.
Glad you can't do it in the game.
Why can't?
I
don't know.
You might get fined.
I don't know. I gotta see if that's a fine. If it's not, I'm gonna do it. Let's try that. Let's try that out.
You said after the Indy joint practice that you could play the Jets tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
How much more ready do you feel for what Week 1 might bring here in a couple weeks?
I feel the same way. I could have played them last week. It don't matter. But I'm just excited for it. Every day is a step closer, so just count the days down. Can't wait.
We've seen this defense since preseason fly around. And hands on the ball, takeaways.
Mm-hmm.
Is this sort of what you had in mind for that side of the ball?
Definitely. And that was pretty much of a little sneak peek trailer against Baltimore. We had a lot of guys, create, I would say, a X factor kind of play. Luvu stepped up big, Hassan, myself, Fox, everybody really had a pitch in on that. But there's still some things that we can clean up and we can be even better for the Jets.
Do you feel like you guys are still, though, around the league, just kind of laying under the radar type of defense?
Yeah, I do. I think we're still the underdog as far as top whatever defenses, but it's kind of how I like it. You know, ain't nothing but a win-win situation.
Hassan talked about the importance of you guys using this preseason to kind of gain momentum, and you guys did that against Baltimore. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, definitely. The first team only really got a series, so coming off of that, and we kind of know what we can do. Coming off of that, we're going to play a half this game, I think. But I just want to build on it going into the Jets. So just as long as we keep that momentum and keep forcing takeaways and becoming a dominant defense, that's all I can ask for.
Brian, we always hear about yourself and other pass rushers adding different moves in the offseason, kind of layering things together. What's your process with that? Do you go into offseason and say, I want to add these 2 moves for this season? Does it kind of happen organically within the season as well?
Yeah, basically after a season, I'll kind of critique myself, and figure out things that I could work on or whatever the case may be, and then I watch other rushers and add on by that process.
Anybody in particular you watched and thought that, whether it's a current player or a past player, that you wanted to take a little something from?
This year, I looked at a lot of. I looked at Max a little bit. I looked at Bosa, Joey. Who else can I name? And I also looked at Preston Smith.
What part of your self-critique? What stood out to you as you started to critique yourself?
Really much just changing up my rushes. Like at the end of the day, it's a game of chess between you and that offensive tackle. So really just changing up the tempo, changing up certain moves from speed to power. That's my biggest critique of myself from last year. I was too predictable.
What do you get out of playing in a preseason game? Like, what is your goal when you go in there Friday?
Basically just to get the kinks out, Like, it's a different atmosphere in there. So from the practice field to there, it's very different. So to get those plays under my belt, just to get used to the crowd and the announcers and the stance and the tempo of the game, that's pretty much what I look forward to in the preseason
There was
game.
a sack prediction that came out recently. I didn't think it mentioned you or Hassan. What do you think of that?
Is that what?
A prediction on be the leaders in sacks this year. You didn't have you or Hassan.
No comment.
Brian,
And
how
what
good
did,
for you to have J.C. Foreman back there, but you use some more time in the pocket so you can make more sacks?
Oh, that's good. He's coming along great. I gotta still think that he's still young, but unbelievable talent. So I really think he really exceeds in man coverage. So it's gonna be great to have an extra second to get to the quarterback.
What did Olsen share with you guys?
Just memories and his thoughts about what he sees out here. He's guys that he was around, myself, Dante, C-Mac, everybody like that. So that's mainly what it
There
was.
was a moment y'all laughed. What was funny?
He said he wished that Chin could guard him, and he said he'll probably give him a $20 move, and then everybody laughed. Yeah, that's what it was.
What are you seeing in the growth of Jermaine?
Carter? He's coming along. He's coming into his own. Jermaine is a character, but he's a tough guy. He works hard, and he's one of our hardest hitters. So I'm seeing a lot, but he is stepping into that role of that dominant Mike linebacker. Like he's taking control of the defense because he's the quarterback of the defense. So I can see that.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, Joe.
Appreciate it.
Just excited for him. Just super stoked for him and his entire family. You know, to see his hard work the last few years and to see how much it's paid off, it's great to see.
From when you first met Robbie to now, have you seen growth in him, like, on the field? Like, what's changed from when you first met him with the Jets?
Yeah, I've seen growth on and off the field. I mean, I feel like Robbie's the kind of guy that just gets better every single day. And, you know, that's the kind of teammate you want, and that's the kind of guy you want to hang out with off the field. So Robbie's a great dude. Again, I'm just super happy for him.
What does it mean to you to have kind of, he mentioned you as being kind of one of the reasons he wanted to stay. What does that kind of mean to you?
Yeah, it means a lot, you know. Yeah, me and Robbie have a great relationship, and it's just great to hear him, you know, say things like that. But at the same time, you know, there is a lot of work to do. You know, we gotta continue to work, continue to put in these days where we have great practices, and you know, get ready for every single game.
We've asked you about that chemistry you guys had in New York, seemed to have here. Yesterday, 2 plays, you were rolling out to the right early, and he made a one-handed catch out of bounds. But that was a great catch, and then it went off of Dante's foot. Just knowing he makes those kind of catches for you, how much confidence does that give you to want to go back to him, and how much is that part of the chemistry?
A ton of confidence. I mean, I know if I put it anywhere near Robbie, you know, he's going to catch it. So it gives you a ton of confidence as a quarterback, and again, he's just a great guy to have on and off the field.
Was there a moment in New York where that started happening too, where you?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the first days I was there, I can't remember, but Robbie earns your trust right away. I mean, he goes out there, he works his butt off, and he makes catches like that all the time.
Sam, anything specific you want to get done Friday night?
I think, you know, same thing I said last week, just continuing to work on getting in and out of the huddle, making sure that we're good with, you know, formationally, and that we're picking things up, you know, in protections, and we're running the ball efficiently, staying on track, not having a ton of penalties. I think those are the biggest things.
How much will it help you getting a more extended look than last game?
Yeah, it's always good. Whenever you get an extended, you know, especially in the preseason, just to get a couple drives going and to see a couple quarters of play, I think it'll be good.
Sam, does it change anything knowing the Steelers aren't necessarily playing starters out there when you're out there?
No, it doesn't change anything for us. Obviously, it changes who they play, but you know, for us, we're gonna go out there and play Panther football.
You want to get hit this time?
I don't plan on it. I don't plan on getting hit. You know, but it is football. If it happens, it happens.
Sam, obviously, earlier in the preseason, Matt said he was going to throw a lot at you with that in that portion leading up to training camp. How do you feel like your command of what Joe was trying to do and what you guys were trying to do offensively is a couple weeks out from the first game?
Yeah, it's been good. You know, just got to keep getting better every day. You know, that's the goal, and we're just going to keep striving for that.
Sam, what was it like having Luke Kuechly and Greg Olsen out here today?
It was great. You know, have those guys come out and share their 2 cents with us, and you know, where they came from, and you know, just to hear, you know, how it was when they played here. You know, it's awesome whenever you got guys who have that experience, to be able to share those experiences with us, and it's always good to hear.
Sam, Joe said today that they're still figuring out if he's going to be on the sideline or up in the box during games. Do you have a preference? Is there an easier way would you rather have him down there? Or?
I don't care. Whatever's better for him. You know, if he has a preference, then we'll stick with that.
Sam, how do offensive and defensive players kind of respond when special teams is having an issue, like kicker stuff with Joey and bringing in another kicker? How do guys not really involved with special teams all the time respond to that and support them?
Yeah, I mean, you just support them no matter what happens, just like we would anyone else on the team.
Joe Brady was talking today about how you get so super competitive out there sometimes. He'll have to say something into your ear to kind of lighten things up a little bit. Describe that moment and what's happening there.
Yeah, I think, you know, when anyone, you know, if I happen to make a bad play, you know, everyone is competitive and wants to, you know, not have those plays. So, and usually when I make a play like that, you know exactly what you did right after. So, and you kind of, you know, for me, I think to myself, dang, like, how'd I miss that? Kind of, and you know, he does a really good job of just saying, hey, move on to the next play. So, he's deal with it. You know, I've dealt with it ever since I was in Pop Warner. You know, I think every competitor deals with it in a different way. But yeah, it's definitely good to have a coordinator who sees it and can kind of help get you on to the next play.
When you see the front office commit to Robbie, commit to Taylor Moton, pick up your fifth-year option, what does it say about the direction of this team and offense?
Yeah, it just shows they have trust in us and, that they're confident in where this offense is headed.
And where do you view the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm not really worried about that, to be honest. I'm just focused on doing my job this season and really just taking it one day at a time.
Do you feel now at this point, like I remember when we talked before training camp or whatever, like you were still learning the playbook, still learning all that stuff. Are you at this point, you feel like ready to go, like you've got it all down pretty much?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the same answer. It's just getting better every day. It's making sure that, I'm best prepared to go out here every single day and owning what we do. And then going in right now and preparing for tomorrow and preparing for the game. So I'm just going to continue that process.
Sam, I think Matt said there was some sort of push-up contest between Joe and Phil. What was your perspective on that, and how did Joe do?
Yeah, Joe did great. I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of adrenaline for him. All of us were watching. I don't know if he's worked out recently, but he did a great job out there, and I was super proud of him. And I wasn't counting Coach Snow. I think Joe got like 48 push-ups, which is pretty solid in a row. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that was more than Coach Snow, but you'd have to ask the defensive guys.
Is Phil kind of like old guy strong?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Expand, please.
I mean, I think everyone kind of understands, So he's got that old man strength, and good on him. Good for him.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all very much.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, man.
Old man strength's good. It is.